Greetings, seekers of truth. Welcome to the Prophecy Matrix. Today, we uncover a dark secret. You have been told the great Euphrates River is drying up merely due to global climate change. But the horrifying truth hidden beneath the cracked desert mud goes far beyond any normal drought. This ancient river is not just a simple border on the map, it serves as a massive prison door. And as the waters vanish into the earth, that terrifying gateway is slowly tearing open. Satellite imagery shows a drastic transformation. The mighty Euphrates is now a barren wasteland. Scientists scramble to explain the sudden evaporation, pointing fingers at modern dams and heat waves. However, ancient texts predicted this exact ecological collapse thousands of years before it began. The riverbed reveals forgotten archaeological ruins, whispering warnings from a lost civilization. This vanishing waterline is not a geographical accident. It is an apocalyptic countdown clock. To understand the end, we must look at the beginning. The Euphrates watered the Garden of Eden. It was the literal cradle of human civilization, where empires rose and fell across the millennia. Now, its death signals the tragic conclusion of the human era, completing a devastating cosmic loop. If the cradle of life is turning into dust, what does that mean for the future of humanity? Governments try to suppress the rising panic, but the undeniable visual evidence speaks for itself. The cracking mud expands every single day, transforming life-giving waters into an endless desert. Look closely at the parched earth. It resembles a scarred battlefield, waiting for an impending war. As the water recedes, a sense of overwhelming dread falls upon the entire Middle Eastern region. We are witnessing the physical manifestation of a terrifying divine judgment written long ago. A judgment meticulously recorded by an exiled prophet on a lonely, windswept Mediterranean island. In the year 95, the Apostle John received a blinding vision of the ultimate apocalypse. Exiled on the island of Patmos, he frantically documented the horrors of the coming tribulation. According to ancient historical records, John witnessed the sixth bowl of divine wrath being poured out. Revelation 16:12 states that the great river Euphrates will dry up to prepare a deadly path. This prophecy explicitly mentions preparing the way for the kings from the east to march forward. For centuries, scholars debated whether this text was merely symbolic or a literal geographical event. Yet today, the literal drying of the Euphrates proves the chilling accuracy of the ancient scripture. The scripture is not a fairy tale, it serves as a highly detailed prophetic military blueprint. John saw the water evaporating, just as our modern satellites capture the devastating reality right now. The disappearance of the river eliminates a massive natural barrier that once divided great empires. This uncovers a strategic land bridge connecting the massive armies of Asia to the Middle East. But the drying water is only one part of the terrifying equation hidden within the holy texts. Many modern scholars argue that the biblical text contains layers of apocalyptic code waiting to unfold. Why did the Creator specifically target the Euphrates River for this precise moment in human history? We must dive deeper into the abyss, beyond the dried mud, to find the true source of ancient terror. The book of Revelation speaks of a nightmare lurking directly beneath the rushing currents of water. A nightmare that has been silently waiting in the crushing darkness since the dawn of human existence. John's terrifying manuscript warns us of entities bound tightly beneath the great Euphrates River. These are not benevolent guardians, but ancient entities radiating pure, unadulterated cosmic malice. The vanishing water is not just a path for soldiers, it is the breaking of a divine, ancient seal. Revelation chapter 9 verse 14 reveals the darkest theological true crime in human history. It commands to release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river, Euphrates, immediately. These 4 fallen angels are demonic forces of unparalleled destruction, trapped in a watery grave. They have been chained in absolute darkness for millennia, nursing a burning hatred for all mankind. As the water level drops, the immense spiritual pressure keeping them imprisoned begins to rapidly fail. The ancient chains are heating up, preparing to snap and release absolute chaos upon the fragile earth. Scripture states they have been kept ready for this very hour, and day, and month, and year exactly. Their sole terrifying purpose is to slaughter 1/3 of mankind without mercy or hesitation. Imagine the sheer horror as these unseen apocalyptic forces rise from the cracked and barren riverbed. While the spiritual prison breaks, a massive geopolitical nightmare unfolds simultaneously on the surface. The dry riverbed now functions as an unobstructed superhighway for a colossal mechanized military force. The kings of the East are mobilizing an unprecedented army numbering 200 million ruthless soldiers. Tanks and armored vehicles will easily roll across the cracked earth where a mighty river once fiercely flowed. This massive coalition will march relentlessly toward a specific destiny foretold in the sacred texts. They are heading straight to the valley of Megiddo, widely known as the battlefield of Armageddon. The Euphrates is the strategic linchpin connecting the demonic awakening to global thermonuclear war. The spiritual and physical realms are violently colliding in the dusty heart of the Middle East. Are we prepared to face an enemy that has been meticulously planning our destruction for millennia? Every drop of water that evaporates brings humanity one step closer to the final apocalyptic clash. The fallen angels will orchestrate the minds of world leaders, driving them into a suicidal global conflict. The book of Revelation clearly outlines this exact sequence of catastrophic events with terrifying precision. We are watching a divine prophecy unfold in real time on our modern high-definition satellite screens. The shadows of 200 million soldiers are already forming on the dusty horizon of the wasteland. The demonic entities beneath the mud are whispering strategies of madness into the ears of global kings. As the ancient chains finally shatter, a shockwave of despair will instantly blanket the entire planet. The cradle of civilization transforms into a massive graveyard, fulfilling the ancient tragic prophecy. The great river Euphrates breathes its final dying breath, surrendering its waters to the burning sun. This is not a distant myth. It is an urgent warning broadcasted across the desolate desert landscape. The apocalyptic clock is ticking louder, demanding the immediate attention of every living soul on Earth. We must open our eyes and recognize the terrifying truth hidden beneath the guise of climate change. The river of life is rapidly dying, merely to pave a smooth and deadly path for the angel of death. All geographical and political signs are perfectly aligning to match the ancient biblical blueprint. The countdown to Armageddon has officially started, and there is no earthly power that can stop it now. However, the Euphrates drying is just the physical pathway required for the final military invasion. In order for this entire catastrophic sequence to truly ignite, another ancient condition must be met. All prophetic roads eventually lead back to the fiercely contested sacred center of Jerusalem. A chilling prerequisite is currently unfolding in the shadows, completely hidden from the public eye. The Israeli government is quietly preparing a controversial ancient ritual lost for 2,000 years. This ritual does not involve armies or weapons, but requires an extremely rare and flawless animal. A perfect red heifer, without a single blemish, is currently being guarded under extreme secrecy. The ashes of this creature are strictly required to purify the priests and rebuild the third holy temple. Without this temple, the biblical end times cannot reach their devastating, prophesied conclusion. The drying of the Euphrates and the birth of the red heifer are two halves of the same doomsday clock. As the riverbed cracks, the priests are carefully examining the sacred cow for any sign of imperfection. Just one pure red heifer will fundamentally change the religious fabric of the entire modern world. The stage for the apocalypse is perfectly set, waiting for the final ritualistic spark to ignite the fire. What dark secrets are they hiding behind the heavily fortified walls of the secret breeding facility? Do you believe the drying river is merely nature failing or a divine prophetic warning? Share your honest thoughts in the comments below. The ultimate truth might just shock the entire world. Like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel to uncover more hidden biblical secrets.